Dear God, for the past month, Tiana, Agnes, and I have been reading The Color Purple by Alice Walker in Pepta's class. This story is about a girl named Celie who faced many traumatic events in her life. Instead of reading the whole book, here's what basically happened.
Celie grew up in a physically, emotionally, mentally, and sexually abusive home. In her teens, she ended up having 2 kids by her father, a boy and a girl, but he gave them away at birth. Celie thought he killed them.
That's tough. Then her mom died. She became the woman of the house. With that title came great responsibilities. She had to protect her siblings, especially Nettie, because her dad was eyeing her.
After a while, a man named Mr. came along. He was interested in wifing Nettie, but father said, nah, she too young, but you can have Celie. Celie didn't want to marry this guy, but time came and she left.
Deep down, sis was a fucking lesbian, but we're not gonna talk about it.
Anyways, she left, and then it got real crazy real fast. Mr. beat Celie, and his son even tried to kill her with a rock. They did not want her around and made sure she knew that. Mr. was also still in love with his woman named Shug Avery, an old lover.
Celie was in love with her too.
Wink, wink!
Back at home, Nettie ran away because sis was over her dad and went to live with Mr. and Celie. But that didn't go well because Mr. was still trying to hit on Nettie. So she left.
We don't know where she went till later on, but she promised to write Celie often. The letters never came though.
Harpo ended up falling in love with this girl named Sophia, and she got pregnant. Celie and Harpo got closer because she gave him advice and listened to his issues. Later on, Harpo and Sophia got secretly married and lived together.
Not for long, because Harpo realized that Sophia was low-key a baddie and don't take nothing from nobody, not even her own husband. So he tries to put her under control, and he got clapped. And she left with the kids. Now he lonely, got beat up by his wife, and he looks stupid. But let's talk about Shug Avery though.
So, Shug Avery and Mr. have lots of history. They used to be in love. She came to town, and she has a little bit of clout because she's a singer, but at the moment, she was sick. Celie mostly took care of her though, but Mr. is completely obsessed with her.
So was Celie.
But Shug was rude to her because she still sort of liked Mr. back, and she was jealous of Celie. This ended though because over time they opened up to each other and they became friends.
Celie heard her sing for the first time and basically fell in love with her even more. But sis was feeling better and wanted to skedaddle.
Celie ended up telling Shug about the abuse, and she gasped, saying, "Oh my God, okay, then I won't leave until he stops beating you, I promise." And she kept her word.
Sophia ended up finding a new man, a boxer, and Harper ended up with a girl named Mary Agnes or Squeak. Sophia ended up arguing with the mayor, and he slapped her in the face. She did not like that, so she beat him up and went to jail 12 years.
Sophia ended up being released to serve the mayor's family. She was a maid, but was basically a slave. She took care of the kids, and even taught the mayor's wife how to drive. The family got attached to Sophia, but she wasn't with all that.
Shug ended up marrying this man named Grady, but he was bland. Mr. and Celie didn't like him. She got closer to Celie even more, and they talked and talked. Shug ended up saying, "I love you," to Celie. Celie was very happy with their relationship, even if it wasn't romantic.
But it was romantic, because Shug and Celie both know sis was waiting to come out the closet. Shug even taught her how to pet her flower, if you know what I mean.
But something crazy happened. Celie learned Nettie been sending letters that Mr. been hiding in his trunk. Tons of letters. Celie hates Mr. even more. She wants to kill him. The rest of the book, we learn a lot about Nettie and the life she's made for herself.
Nettie ended up living with a minister named Samuel and his wife Corinne, and their adopted kids.
Plot twist, their kids were Celie's kids.
And to keep it short, here's what we knew about Nettie. The family took her in and became a caregiver to the kids. But when they went to Africa as missionaries, she began to grow apart from Samuel and Corinne because Corinne was paranoid and didn't like being judged by the Olinka people, and told Nettie, "I don't want you to be with Sam without me. It's not a good look for us." And that made Nettie very sad.
And then British people came along to their village, building a road, but they took over basically everything from their fields to their water. And so, their culture and home were weakened, and Corinne got sick and died. But Nettie loved the family and learned a lot from them. She became very educated and sound compared to Celie.
Adam ended up marrying a childhood family friend, Tashi. She had scars on her face because she gave into the Olinka tradition and Adam got mad. But he loved her, and he scarred his face too. Sam and Nettie ended up getting married and traveled together. But Nettie really wanted to see Celie, so they went to find her.
Back to Celie's story. Celie learned through Nettie that their childhood father, the father of her kids, is actually their stepfather. He owned a business and was lynched because he was black. Their mom wanted to keep it hush-hush, but Celie goes to confront the guy, and he acts like Celie doesn't even exist. He also ends up marrying a teenage girl named Daisy. He's pretty happy. She's pretty young.
Celie was shocked by this. So Shug was like, "Leave all of this and go to Tennessee. You're coming with me." At the same time, Sophia was released from the mayor's house, and the whole family had a dinner at Odessa's. Shug and Celie told the news. Mr. was angry. He said, "Hell no." And Celie stabbed his ugly ass in the hand with a knife.
So they left. Celie, Shug, Mary Agnes, and Grady to Memphis. Shug's house was big, with elephants and turtles everywhere. From the curtains to the walls, even the toilet. Shug became a more popular singer, so she was in and out the house.
Celie was kind of bored, so she made pants. First, it was for Shug, but then for Mary Agnes too, and ended up making them for the whole family. One day, Shug said, "What if you turn this into a business? Stop being sad all day and make that money." And so she did.
Shug soon fell for this 19-year-old boy who was in the band, and this broke Celie's lesbian heart. She was so heartbroken, she communicated with notes. Shug said, "I'll always love you. Just give me 6 months to have some fun." And she left.
She received a telegram and it said they thought Nettie died drowning. This made everything worse. Now the only thing keeping Celie motivated was Henrietta, Harper's daughter. She was sick and had sickle cell. When she returned to help, Mr. became a new man. He started talking to Celie about deeper things, like asking, "Why are you black? What is the purpose of life, Celie? Why are we here?" She actually started enjoying his company, and he even started making shirts to go with her pants.
Homeboy wanted to marry her again, but she dubbed this shit. So she was gay.
But 6 months later, Shug came back and was surprised to see Mr. and Celie being friends. They all enjoyed each other's companies for a while, when one day a car pulled up. It was Nettie, Samuel, Olivia, Adam, and his wife Tashi. Celie was so shocked she nearly fainted. The family was reunited after 3 decades.
And they all lived happily ever after, basically. Celie ends the book saying, "All the kids grown, and I see they think me and Nettie and Shug and Albert and Samuel and Harper and Sophia and Odessa real old and don't know how much we're going on. But I don't think us feel old at all, and us so happy. Matter of fact, I think this the youngest we ever felt."
Amen.